for the First Amendment. Hi. So I have a sign out here today. ICE has been in the news very recently. How do you guys feel about ICE? Do you support them?
Me personally, I'm a big supporter of ICE. They have keep our streets clean. I know there's a lot of controversy related to the newest issue of ICE with, I think, what was her name again?
Renee Good.
Renee Good. Originally, when I first saw the original post, I was kind of 50-50 on it. It was blasted by the media to seem as if ICE kind of killed her unwillingly, unlawfully. But if you look at multiple angles, multiple POVs of the video, it's very obvious that she intended to hit the officer with her car and he acted in self-defense. And actually, there was a state statute posted by Tim Walz himself saying that it is within lawful reason for an officer to fear for his life if there's a vehicle threatening him in any way. And so he did it, lawfully, something like that. So,
see how easy it is to do your research, you guys, and not just go off of one single video? How do you feel about ICE?
you got it.
Yeah. So
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All of these women in these photos, well, some of them aren't even women. She was only 12. They were brutally murdered and raped, then murdered by illegal immigrants, people that never should have entered this country. They would have still be alive today if Biden wouldn't have had our border wide open for 4 years.
I agree.
Yeah. There's people on campus who refuse to condemn the men in this photo.
You got it.
You walk among people who refuse to condemn rapists just because they're illegal immigrants.
Yeah, I feel like people nowadays in our country like to support, the people who are illegal and do things wrongfully, as opposed to people who actually want to do good in our country. This is public, by the way. But okay.
What about all those people blocking the walkway?
Part of why I'm trying to do it because you're gotten a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a student here. This is all public. By
Yeah, it's all public. We can stand wherever we want because this is stolen land, right? That's what they always say.
Oh yeah. No, it's more like conquered land, but believe what you want to believe.
Hey guys, you can follow me at Her Patriot Voice.
Yeah, but I do have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Why would you say you support ICE?
Yeah, because they would get rid of these.
So before we go there, her name is Her Patriot Voice, Coastal Carolina University, where she asks students their opinion about ICE, and it's going crazy right now. Let's go.
Rapists and murderers that killed American women.
So are all of the immigrants that come into America rapists and killers?
Nope.
Oh, okay, so
let's get rid of these ones. You agree with that?
yeah.
Okay, so you support ICE removing them.
No. I support the condemnation, as you said, of a rapist. But there are white rapists, there are black rapists, there are
white immigrant rapists as well.
Okay, but again, there are rapists of different colors.
Why does the color matter when it comes to rape?
You just made it about you just made it.
No,
about
you did.
Color. No, you did. You said
You brought up white rapists.
Okay, because you said that immigrants rape, right? So white people rape.
I didn't say immigrants rape. I said these immigrants raped.
Those immigrants raped. What about white people that raped?
What about them?
Are there no condemnations for them?
Absolutely. We're condemning rape as a whole, but if these people wouldn't have been able to enter under Biden's open border policies, these women would still be alive today.
Right. So what about the people who are coming to America for a better life because they were experienced similar situations where they came from?
Yeah, they can come here for a better life. I'm all for legal immigration.
Legal immigration. Okay, so what about, so our president here, his name is Trump. That's a pretty racist man.
How? Give me an example of his racism.
News.
Give me one example. Just give me one example.
Just watch the news, sweetheart. There are plenty of examples.
Watch the news, sweetheart. Give me one example that he's racist.
Okay, Trump has flat out, flat with the racism.
How?
Comments, concerns.
What comments? Name one comment that he said that was racist.
Okay.
Because if he's racist, I want to know, because I don't want to support a racist.
So you support Trump?
I do, yeah. Can you tell me why he's racist?
She supports Trump.
Why do they always want to involve other people? Oh, see what's going on. Respond. You are in front of the mic. You are the one talking. Go ahead.
So we've been sitting here for nearly a minute now, and she has still yet to tell me one thing that Trump has said that's racist.
Okay, so if we're going to be quite honest, I couldn't give you a specific...
I know, you can't.
Oh, no, I'm not done speaking. I couldn't give you a specific because I don't pay attention to idiocy. And
okay.
That's idiot.
So if you're going to call someone racist, I think you should be able to prove it.
Watch the news.
Pull up a clip where he's racist. Go ahead.
What's news? CNA?
Oh, great. I'm so glad you asked.
It must not have been racist enough to remember because you have to look it up. How do you guys feel about ICE?
Oh, all of these people are
Thumbs up for ICE, thumbs down.
people that are against ICE. You see,
I'm asking people, what's wrong with asking people their opinion?
I didn't say anything
Did you find the racist clip yet?
wrong with that. I just said that there were people, majority of them here are against ICE
How do you know that?
because I know them.
Okay. Well, he supports ICE.
You support ICE? Which one? You? You support ICE? Oh, okay. I didn't think so,
What does ICE stand for?
babe.
So you don't support something that you don't even know what it stands for.
Oh, I didn't respond for a reason.
Can you tell me what it stands for?
No, we're gonna go back to the Trump racism.
Right, okay. You can ask me a question if you want.
Why do you have this stance? I mean, obviously, it's because of these criminals.
Just part of the reason, yeah.
Okay, but what's the whole?
So if you're new on this channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and actually go on our channel, like and subscribe, okay? Let's go. Oof, that's crazy.
reason?
I just don't believe that people should illegally enter the country and be able to take our resources, our jobs, and then rape and kill our women.
Okay.
But I'm all for immigration. I have many, many friends that were legal immigrants, and I totally support doing it the right way. But people that are doing it illegally are not only cutting in line, but they're also actively breaking the law. And every single day that they stay in this country, as an illegal immigrant, they're breaking the law.
Okay. I mean, I agree it is illegal to enter the country illegally. But I think everybody kind of has a issue with the way ICE operates. And I want to ask you, what do you see any issues with the way ICE operates, or do you think the way they do things is just totally fine?
Are you specifically talking about the situation with Renee Good that happened last week? Yeah, so, I mean, I waited to make a comment on it after I saw multiple video angles, and I think the most telling video angle was the video. Renee Good was somebody who harassed and fought against ICE agents. And I don't know what you were taught growing up, but I was taught don't harass a man with a gun. Don't mess with a guy with a gun. And in his angle of the video, the cop, right? It's not smart, especially if you don't have a gun yourself. And on his angle of his point of view, Renee Good actively stepped on the gas and her car physically hit the officer. I've never been in a situation where someone was about to run over me with a car, but you know what? If I think it's between my life and being run over by a car, I'm gonna choose my life. And he shot straight ahead, and unfortunately she lost her life, and she lost her life for nothing.
When you say he shot straight ahead and she unfortunately lost her life, I mean, I think if you shoot a gun, you're shooting to kill. There's no question about it. But
Cops are trained to do that.
I would beg to differ. I mean, I think cops should be trained to de-escalate situations, and that should be the last means.
How do you de-escalate somebody trying to run over you with their car?
So I'm not a cop, first and foremost.
Just
nor
as
am I
a
trained to
person.
do So I mean, I wouldn't put myself in a situation in front of the car to be ran over.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
The cop should have been standing right there, is what I'm saying.
He shouldn't have been standing there.
He should have been standing in front
Well,
of the
he
car.
was standing in the road. He asked her multiple times to get out of the car, and she refused. And her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." And she hit on the gas.
And I could be wrong, but based off of what I saw, I don't believe him asking her to step out of the car was a lawful order.
How is that not a lawful order? When a cop tells you to do something, to step out of the vehicle, she was blocking the road. That's not allowed.
Yeah, but that's not a reason for you to be asking somebody to get out of the
Why not?
I mean,
You're illegally blocking a road?
I've never had a cop pull me over and ask me to get out of the car for anything. I mean, even if
Well, that's good. Have you illegally blocked roads and harassed officers?
No, I'm not that type of person to do that.
Okay, so when a cop asks you to do something, whether you think you're in the right or not, the law will determine at the end of the day. To avoid it escalating and you possibly getting harmed and losing your life, I would just recommend that you comply. And she probably would have been just sent home afterwards.
Possibly, I can agree with that. I think that situation escalated on both ends. But what I can say is, I think the loss of life over an issue where you're checking, it's a very subjective operation that they have going, and that's just in my
Subjective?
Subjective. Like, I could say you're doing X, Y, and Z, and then I'm like, okay, let me see your ID, let me start checking this, let me do that. I don't think they should have the authority to do anything with traffic. I don't see why he would be stopping, standing in front of the car, trying to tell her to get out.
Because she was actively harassing them and maybe even was threatening things. I haven't seen every single angle of the video. I've seen most of them, but the one that was most telling was the point of view of the officer, where you literally hear the car hit him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Whoa!"
Body cam did come up,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even the body cam. It was actually on his iPhone.
Oh, he recorded on his phone. Oh, they don't wear body cams.
They do, but the
Go and subscribe on our channel, man. This is so interesting. This is the generation that we are educating. Man, that's crazy. So I have a quick story. Someone in the comment section down below just say that, well, you're an American and all that stuff, so you haven't studied much, so you don't know anything about America. So you don't have anything to say, bro. I think I did more studies way better than you, and I support America, but bro, this is crazy. I have some things that I know that because I have to and had to. That lady, man, she deleted herself, bro.
one, he was also filming on his phone.
Okay, so let me ask you, do you know why they were there?
Yeah, they were responding to like rounding up some immigrants. That's what I heard.
They were responding to rounding up immigrants.
They were responding to some immigrants that needed to be arrested, I believe.
Okay, and I mean, I want to, if we're going to speak about that, I'd like to know a little bit more information than just immigrants that were they on actual investigation? Were they conducting an investigation? Were they conducting a raid? What exactly?
Yeah, maybe it was a raid. I can't speak on it for sure. I can't say 100%. I probably should educate myself about that. You could agree with me that the men in these photos should have never been allowed in the country, right? Because not only were they illegal, but then they also raped women and murdered them.
Nobody said come through. If you come through illegally, you've obviously jumped a fence you weren't supposed to jump or something like that. You know what I mean? Figuratively speaking. But it's like, I don't know if, and my issue isn't with necessarily these guys being arrested or deported or anything by that, because they did commit a crime,
Right.
2 of them in fact, and one of them being very, yeah, I mean, I recognize that clearly, but I think this message and the way that it's portrayed by yourself is very outspoken in a sense. And that,
I am very outspoken.
Yeah, I see that. There's nothing wrong with being outspoken, but it comes off. I mean, the last lady you interviewed, she definitely brought race into the equation, and that's definitely a factor when it comes to this. It's my question to you.
who?
How? I'm sorry.
To who cares about race when it comes to illegal immigrants?
I want to get to that point.
Okay.
My thing is, okay, if we're going to conduct operations about trying to stop illegal immigration and get illegal immigrants who are criminals out of the country, how do we go about that in a way that does not cause incidents like that occurred, like we were just talking about?
People just don't do that. Don't harass officers. It's very simple.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, I don't think that the need is as extreme as it ended up being. I'm saying a lady shouldn't have to die because we were trying to do something like that.
I wish she would not have harassed the officer and try to run him over.
I don't think the room for those situations should be able to even be a thought. So how does ICE prevent things like this from happening? How do they conduct what they need to do without disturbing anybody else? You understand what I mean? Without potentially having loss of life, and how do they legally do it?
Well,
Because
they're legally doing their job, but it's people, it's bystanders, it's citizens that have bought into this leftist propaganda that says these people are illegal, they shouldn't be able to round up illegal immigrants and criminals, so you can go and stop them. You do not mess with men with guns. You do not mess with law enforcement. We don't have as much power as these ICE agents do. They have a job to do, and these people also have families. They don't want to die when they go to work. They're prepared to, because that's part of it. That's part of the job. You're putting yourself in dangerous situations, but these people want to keep Americans safe. The safety of Americans is of utmost priority to President Trump and to his administration. Americans come first, and people from outside the country that were not born in America have the opportunity to come here legally the right way. We both agree that that's the right way to do it, and then become a citizen. And it is a long, expensive process, but if people want it, they'll do it the right way.
I agree. People have lives to live, people have families, everything like that. I can see this getting in the way and infringing on citizens' lives that are legally here. I personally,
How?
and I'm gonna give you an example.
sorry.
I personally, if ICE was here and say they were conducting a raid, what's a very where is it? Is it Minneapolis, where there is a very high Somalian, I believe.
Yeah, that's also where Renee Good was killed. I don't know how you want to say it.
There's a very high, population of people that look like myself. It could be mistaken for myself. So say I'm at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm getting groceries, and ICE has a mission or assignment to conduct there. I believe if I got stopped, I'm not going to sit there and fight with them or anything like that, or put myself in a situation to be harmed, because they have the power in a sense. But I feel like my right to just do what I'm doing as an American citizen, born American citizen, is kind of infringed upon. I don't want to be stopped. I don't want to have somebody walking up to me with a gun on their hip.
That's just part of living in every country. You should see how it is in places like Israel. They're carrying AKs on their shoulders.
If you seem very patriotic, and if you're that patriotic, I don't think we should be comparing that to other countries. This is America.
Right. Yes, that's true. But you have nothing to worry about as long as you're an American citizen, you're a taxpayer, you're not a criminal, right? So if a cop comes up to you and profiles you, am I saying that's right or wrong? No. But you know what's so unfortunate for the black community? That is wrong. But you know what's so unfortunate is that people like these Somalians and then other black and brown individuals that come into this country and do not share the American values, they make it so hard for people that look like you and me, because then it goes where people see people like us and they assume, oh, I know how they are, because I'm gonna assume if I see like you're Somali, you're presenting that way in the way you dress or carry yourself, and I'm gonna assume, because of all this $9 billion in fraud that's been come out of Somalia, that a lot of these people might be in on it. And that's because these small amount of people have ruined it for the rest of the black and brown population.
I think living in a society as an educated person as yourself, I know you're very educated. You seem educated. I think it is just naive, idiotic, and just flat out stupid to think that just because of this small group of people, you're very aware. That's the thing. You're very aware. This small group of people can be pushed and generated to a widespread group. Like a profile, essentially, like profiling somebody. I think that is just an outlandish statement, and I think you also realize that. But
let's be honest though. When we see someone, like if I saw you sagging your pants and you had a big hoodie on and the hood over your head and you were in a back alley, I would automatically profile you as a dangerous guy. Maybe you're doing a drug deal, maybe you're doing something. So the way that you present yourself and then the way that you act does create, the ability for people to profile you.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. What's the norm?
The norm? You seem very normal. You seem put together. You look like you showered this morning. You don't have this threatening body language toward me like some of these individuals have today. I feel very comfortable speaking with you. That's the norm. A norm isn't a color. It's not a religion. It's not an association. It's acting like a civilized human being.
Right. And what is acting like a civilized human being? I know I'm continuing.
You're a perfect representation of it.
I appreciate that.
And I think I've been pretty civilized today too.
Yeah, I can agree. But I think that just to say, okay, this is the example of somebody that is put together, the norm, and to see somebody as an outlier who might not just be the norm. They might just like to sag their pants. They might, like to not shower. If you want to live your life, live it that way.
That's your prerogative, but don't be, offended when you don't get opportunities or when, because you're not presenting. This is a civilized country.
Subjectiveness, you know what I mean?
But this is a civilized country.
I agree, and we can all civilly coexist in a way without,
People don't want to coexist with ICE and let them do their job that they've been hired to do.
I see where you're coming from, but I can't agree with you today, and I think that's fine.
The first crime you said was that they came in the country illegally.
Yes, that's a crime.
Every illegal immigrant should be deported, and they can be deported with their family members that were born in America. So if a couple came in the country illegally and had children that are American born, we're not trying to separate families. One thing that Obama did is he actually created the cages that were used under the first Trump administration. administration. He created the cages.
Created what cages?
The cages that the illegal immigrants were put in.
Alcatraz.
No, that was Trump. He created that. And actually, those are air-conditioned buildings, actually. These were just cages that he was putting people in. And I don't know if you know this, but Obama was actually nicknamed the deporter-in-chief. And under his administration, he deported over 3.1 million illegal immigrants, and nobody said a word. No leftist had any problem with it. Hillary Clinton, Obama talked about it even when he was running, said if you come to the country illegally, you will be deported. It's so simple. So why is it so crazy when Trump says it?
Let's go in the comment section down below now. Whew, this conversation was amazing. Now, let me go in the comment section down below and see what's going on here. So, still waiting on the girls to prove Trump is racist. That's crazy. Okay, so the guy in purple at least was open to have a discussion and debate. Crazy. Okay, so my take on it. That's what is going on here right now on my channel since I started 2 weeks ago consistently. Yes, I've been having some crazy stuff. So many DMs, so many conversation going on in the comment section down below. On pretty much every video I've been going, talking to people and, knowing how you guys react and all the stuff. So first off, I'm not originally from here. I'm originally from Africa. Yeah. Where? Ask me in the comment section down below and I will let you know. But know that I'm not from here. You can tell by my accent. I speak French every day, all day. I dream in French. I've been here for over 10 years. I tried my best to learn English, and I'm pretty sure that I use it for business and everything. But hey, I was born in French. I've been doing my research on this country, and I love this country so much. I feel the need to give myself, to use my skills and everything to protect this country in some way or somehow. I believe that in my voice, my little voice, we add up on something toward this country. I couldn't go to the military. I really wanted to, but circumstances didn't allow me to. Found out the only way is to use my skills and say something about this country. So when black people come regarding the history and everything, I don't need to know the history for me to protect this country. I don't need to be in a position where I need to have a green card, or I need to be a citizen, or I need to, I don't know, like to be born here to protect this country. I love this country, and since I had my first job here, my official girlfriend was here, and everything, my life started here. I came here really with milk in my mouth. I didn't know what to do with my life. I was just in the beginning. My first college class was here. I finished everything here. I started my professional job here in the state. I have so much that I need to give to these people. And in general, I don't care if you're black, white, orange, you are here in this country. I respect you so much. Reason why I have so much respect to anybody who's commenting on this channel and on everywhere, man. Look at these young people having a conversation, like decent conversation. I respect that. That's what America is. That's the beauty of living here. What else do you want to add up on, man? There's just so many beauty, so many things that are beautiful in this country that you just sit back and say, wow, I'm blessed to be here, man. I'm super blessed. It's one of the most beautiful country in the world. We have pretty much all the seasons. I live up north for quite a long time, 6 years in Boston and all that stuff. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm enjoying the weather. I go to Miami, I go to Georgia, I go everywhere, man. I'm so happy to be here, listening to all this going on, people hurting the country, saying things to black, when I say black people, I'm talking about the FBA, whatever, who are here for a very long time, generation, those are what I want to call black, so you guys understand what I'm talking about. I have a big respect to those people. I have a lot of respect. Despite all these things going on, I like to do my research instead of just jumping into conversations and just noticing a few things. Prisons are full of black people, and then for me just to say, well, anyway, all of them are prisons, and moms, the wives are baby mamas everywhere, no parents. I can't just judge based on that. I don't have much information, you know what I mean? I don't know what these people went through. Maybe there is something that needs to be fixed. I don't know. Maybe that's just the news. So I have so many questions that I need to ask myself. Just say things. Now, when you have a president, Donald Trump, someone who actually, when I heard about working on an EBT card and all that stuff, I'm like, EBT, as far as I know, EBT, it's keeping people poor. Someone who wants to turn your brain into thinking like a business person, to turn the whole country actually to think like business people. Let's invest, let's do this, XYZ, you guys need to move. The way he moves, that guy is so old, but the way he moves is just impressive. I'm like, I want to work like that guy. I know he's smart, but no, I don't think that's only smart, but it's only dedication. Someone who works up in the morning, routine and all that stuff. Although he eats a lot of McDonald's, but that's that's we take the good to the person. That's what I was saying in another conversation when he said about, Somalis, Asian are eating dogs and all that stuff. He's not attacking Asian. He's attacking the people who allow those people to come in illegally. And he said, okay, because all you guys are already here concentrated. It's like, let's say maybe 3 people are in America. And then when all of a sudden you have 50,000 people coming here using the route, the illegal route. What is he gonna say? Like, it's 100% of you, although it's not true, but it's like, you know what I mean? You guys need to go in order for the election to be fair, because those people will be using for elections and all the stuff, programs. Somalia were used. For me, I truly believe that Somalis were used for, these $9 billion and $19 billion, because I don't think that they have any power to go in the pockets of the reserve or our taxpayer money. It's a program that was branded by the other side. They have money. Who is getting arrested? Nobody. People starting getting fired. Some of them leaving their jobs and all that stuff. I mean, it's really, really frustrating. We haven't found anything yet. Why? Because it's all network. It's an old network, and Somalians have just been used. Because they didn't know better, they got into the trap. Reason why most of people like that, people like that, they get isolated because they don't want to say the truth of how they are gaining all this benefit. Because if they associate with you guys will know the truth, and the truth will make them, kind of like naked. They don't want you to know what's going on, so they isolate themselves. They pretend as if it's just a religious thing. It's not. In the reality, who cares about? In America, it's a country where you exercise your religious, if you're a Muslim or whatever, who cares? But the thing is, it's just a mentality, and people have been used, and some of them they become even arrogant, not knowing that you've been used. Now, with the $1 billion companies and all the stuff, stealing money from taxpayers, and now you gotta pay it. So like I said, for me, there is nothing that will make me change, man. Now, nothing, not your comments, not you marching, anything. I will support this country up to death, because I'm here. I'm living here. What do you want me to do? Barely know where. I mean, I know originally where I'm coming from, but all my life is here. My first job, I know where to go, what to do. I moved here by myself. I know how to move around. Why? Because I know the system here. I'm used to this system. Even me using these, my skills to go around, to be photographer, videographer, business here and there. I don't think that I will use this because we don't have much opportunity outside. I'm comfortable here. I grew up here. So I don't know, man. It's a blessing to be here. So I just want to share that with you guys. And if you're new on this channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thought, man. I don't know. Let me just know your thought, because this is complicated. Now going back to this conversation about, student talking about, ICE and all that stuff. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I've been saying all this conversation. If I'm here, it means I'm here to support. Even the president who's there right now is the president who I see is really looking. So I need to encourage him to have so many benefit from this schools and all the stuff. Although I pay that by myself, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I can use those skills and knowledge that I have. That I was already using. I'm already using my knowledge and using my skills. Participate to the greatest of this country, which is beautiful. Yeah, they gotta go. I'm kidding. All right, if you're new on this channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and do not forget to turn the post notification. Yes, at least 20 likes. 20 likes, that's my max. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you.
Eloheise Network, shining bright Jacksonville's pride.